His belt's even red. He looks like a Power Ranger.
Just use a mask.
You think that's what the moustache is? Like, even if he was a Power Ranger, he wouldn't put on a helmet. He would still have the moustache there.
I can see they're just having like the moustache painted on the mask. Anyway, as is often the case when two big personalities unite under a common cause, egos get in the way and conflict almost inevitably arises. Such was the case for the Mega Powers. Hogan had been using Miss Elizabeth as a manager as well, which did not sit well with the overprotective Savage. In addition, Hogan accidentally eliminated Savage from that year's Royal Rumble. During a tag match against Big Boss Man and Nakeem, Elizabeth was knocked off the apron and Hogan carried her to the back. This enraged Savage, who would walk out on his partner. This would lead to a feud between the two and culminated at WrestleMania 5 as he competed for Savage's WWF Championship.
What a difference a year makes.
So when Savage and Liz were having a real life divorce, Liz apparently moved in with Hulk
Really?
and stayed at his. But he was married at the time
Yeah.
to Linda, I guess. Elizabeth was staying at his place. And so that, like, Savage got really fucking angry.
I can imagine.
And I think that's, like, where the hatred came from. To the point where he's bringing out rap albums about Hogan.
He made me believe that he was in my corner, me and G, and he was ready to fight.
Oh yeah, when I was having problems on Sunday, I figured out that one of the reasons why the picture was so choppy was because on XSplit, I had like a placeholder image in case I needed to hide what was happening on screen, and it was the gif of their handshake, and apparently that was causing problems.
Oh, alright.
The handshake was just too powerful.
Well, that's because Savage is the cream of the crop.
Absolutely necessary. But you play by different rules, yeah. You gotta get in your grandstanding and your hot dogging, don't you? Yeah, brother, you're a cheap shot artist.
Boss Man and Akeem. Oh my god.
Boss Man was awesome.
Boss Man was alright. Akeem was one man gang.
Yes.
So man, when the whole world full of Hulkamaniacs destroy you. Hulk Hogan, yeah. You see, you don't know.
Always wondered how Hogan got the tan.
You're right.
It's either fake, sunbed, or the fact he lives in Florida.
Because it's mine.
But like, you see people from Florida. Alright, generally old people, but you see people from Florida and they look sort of like normal levels of tan.
Me to the left, and no pukesters helping me to the right. Didn't need 'em then. Don't.
And you've never seen Hogan with sunburn. You've never seen him like, peeling. He's just always looked like that.
Champion by
It's
myself,
probably fake then.
all by myself. You don't know where I'm coming from, Hulk Hogan.
I know like a lot of wrestlers do spray tan.
But I know where you're coming from.
Oh, they get forced to.
Yeah.
I know everything about Hulk Hogan, yeah. I know what makes you tick. Yeah. And you got
And sadly, Hulk's probably the reason for that.
then in WrestleMania.
If there was more people that looked like Sheamus wrestling back in 1981, it wouldn't have happened.
Hulk Hogan, you don't know where I'm coming from. After I'll beat you with that big elbow and pin you one.
But it almost looks like, you know, when people they do the bodybuilding competitions, they
Yes.
put on the bronzer because it accentuates the muscles.
Yeah.
Out there, one last.
It almost looks like that for Hogan, except it doesn't wash off. Like he comes to the arena dripping with baby oil or whatever the fuck he's put on him. No more tears, Johnson and Johnson or something. Look at that. And now I realise I talked. Oh, that's a brilliant Savage promo.
It's okay. They can just shut you off in their minds.
The WWE champion, Macho Man,
This is what we've all been waiting for. The Mega Powers will explode tonight at WrestleMania 5. Miss Elizabeth saying that she will be here tonight to support both men.
How is she gonna do that? There he is, JR.
Oh, you watch Total Divas at all? Oh,
No, not really.
WrestleMania 4 here in Atlantic City.
oh, Eva Marie. She's the one that's never wrestling, but she's got bright red hair.
Oh yeah, I know of her.
So it shows you like the day she got hired, her and JoJo, who's never tall.
No.
And they were like, aye, this is what we'd like you to do, kind of things we'd like you to wear. And Eva would like you to go blonde. And Eva's brunette at this time.
Right.
Like, they just tell her flat out. They're no like, aye, we were wondering if you could. We were like, we want you as a blonde. That's how we see you. And they book an appointment for her to get her hair dyed and whatever. Eva goes to the hairdressers and she's like, just make my hair as bright red as you can. And she gets back to the place and the management already know. They're like,
Yeah.
you fucking pissed us off. Next time you do as we tell. But we like it. Just don't fucking do it again.
Yeah.
And so like all the rumours about them being old, you need a fucking boob job, you need this, you need that. Yeah. And it's not even for Johnny Ace, it's people lower in the company.
Yeah.
They're anymore, but it was like people who would have been Ace's lackeys.
California, weighing 303 pounds, Hulk Hogan.
Well, I can't really say I'm surprised, to be fair.
This guy is so underhanded. He wouldn't step up to Macho Man face to face and ask for a title match. He had to go after Macho's woman. How much lower can you sink than to go after your best friend's woman?
Well, you're entitled to your own opinion, King, as is everyone.
Listen, Macho Man won the WWE Championship in the biggest tournament in
But can you imagine if in like
Hogan just laid
1995, Scott Steiner was like, I'm gonna dye my hair blonde and cut a blonde moustache. Management would have been like, no, you can't do that. Hogan's gimmick, no, fuck, no. You're fired.
No one tells Scott Steiner what to do. Heck, I don't even think Scott Steiner can tell Scott Steiner what to do.
No. Buff Bagwell could tell him what to do for a wee while.
Ah, but he's got the stuff.
And then, do you remember watching the episode of Thunder where Chucky, they were promoting Bride of Chucky? So Chucky came on the screen, and I can't remember if Chucky was speaking to Scott or Rick, but they were like tormenting him.
I want to say Rick, but
This like thing ever, but he came on the Titantron, well non-Titantron, the Tornotron,
yeah.
and he's like, we'll say it was Scott, he's like, Scott, and he starts cutting a promo on one of the Steiners.
one of the most dominant duos in WWE history.
I've heard about it, I've never actually watched it, and if I did watch it, it was when I was very young, so I'll need to YouTube it once I'm done.
The thing, like they used to show Nitro, and it would be 3 hours of Nitro, the 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock's Nitro, and then Thunder was on straight after it. So nobody watched Thunder out here. I don't think they watched it in America either.
Yeah, I don't remember ever watching much Thunder. I used to catch Nitro most Mondays, but...
But you would have been like 4 when Thunder was a thing.
Well, I was 6 when I started watching WCW. I still...
What were you in 2000?
7 and 8.
I see, you would have been really young at the time.
That's
They
why
probably wouldn't have let you stay up to 2 in the morning watching Chucky speak to the Stingers.
but it was like when I got WCW Mayhem, like this is like 2000, 2001, I had completely lost all memory of Chris Jericho being in WCW.
Oh, how could you?
I know.
Do you know what was on the network during Raw? It was the new Jericho thing. Documentary.
Alright.
And like it brought so many memories flooding back. Like his whole feud with Goldberg. Where he brings out like fake Goldberg and shit. And like he has Ralphus beside him and some other guy. And they're supposed to be the bodyguards. They basically do a spinal tap and get lost looking for the ring.
Yeah. According to Jericho's book, Ralph has got a bit of an ego.
Right? Oh, and the man at 1004 holds was just... That's the best Jericho's ever been.
Yeah.
And I know he's tried to be heel and like a really good heel a couple of times since. Like, and his most recent 2 runs as well. Nothing can compare to fucking start reading the holds, ad break, come back, still reading the holds. And like they come to the ring, whoever they send it.
It was was it Prince
Iakea?
Yeah.
And so Jericho's outside the ring walking back, he's like, but my holds! I've still got 214 to go!
I do miss silly Jericho, but...
The ref is telling Macho and Hogan to get back into the ring, and is sending Elizabeth to the back.
Oh wait, I'm not Savage. Keep forgetting.
You're Hogan?
Yeah.
Boo.
I don't have a choice.
And a big reversal by the Macho Man. Oh, lights out. Savage making the climb to the top rope. Boy, there's no whip. I didn't like the trip. I like the landing less and the destination. No good.
You got hit him with a leg drop.
But I've got to get him to critical
This is
first.
no good.
A big clubbing blow. Hogan is
What is Hogan's signature?
Oh, big boot.
Big boot.
hard to game plan against. Well, the longer this match goes, I got to give the advantage to Macho Man. Savage
Oh no.
bring a tremendous
I actually have to take a top rope elbow.
emotions as high as they are. This was inevitable. The last thing that Randy Savage would ever want is for Hulkamania to reign supreme tonight. The one-year title reign of the Macho Man is in serious jeopardy. Let me tell you, better him than me. Take a look at this one more time. Never seen anything like it.
Hogan's limping.
He's going for the 3 count. 2.
I like how somebody's got a "you suck" sign.
Oh no, 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 no.
Could this be it? What an impact from that kick. He's in big trouble. Oh, down on the back.
Fuck!
Did
No!
you use resiliency there and still nearly get pinned?
Yep.
Ah.
Huge right hand.
I never claimed to be great at this game.
You should definitely check out the Jericho thing because it'll probably still be on there.
Wait, is it just from his, like, DVD from, like, 4 years ago?
It seemed pretty recent.
Oh.
Somehow and get back elbow drop. Oh, his body has to be.
Because he talked about like coming back. No, for the Punk run, I don't think, but he talked about they covered Edge
I remember his DVD ended round about the Edge match.
It might be the DVD then. Although knowing the network, they'll have added extra interviews and things into it. They had, what was it, like 2 days after WrestleMania? They were showing Bryan and Bree's road to WrestleMania.
Yeah, that was actually really good.
It was one of the best things I've ever seen them do. And they had like 2 days in order to like edit it and make it. And of course there's like a clip with John Cena's like, I knew he was a good guy. I took the higher ups to give him a chance.
Or potentially future brothers-in-law.
There's always a bit in the show, it doesn't matter what show they have on the network, there's always a bit where the Miz pops up for some reason. As if people want to hear the Miz's opinion. They even did like a 10 worst gimmicks or something, and Miz is there, and you're like, at least they people had gimmicks.
I actually was a big fan of the Miz up until his face run.
Miz had a face run?
Yeah, his character didn't change whatsoever, but he was technically a face. Like they got like Ric Flair to come in and endorse him, basically.
Oh right. That's when he botched the figure 4.
Yeah.
Like when I watch Raw and the pay-per-views and things with the other wrestling writers.
Yeah.
We all have a chat. So as we're watching it, we can all use the same chat thing and talk about it. And so one of them's always like, oh, this guy's bad, this guy's this. Who's the Rusev?
Rusev.
So Rusev's out there fighting Big E, and the writer's like, oh, fucking Rusev's terrible. And I'm like,
how
no,
dare he?
Rusev's never botched a figure 4. So, like, every time somebody is said to be terrible, I always remind them that they're no the Miz.
I really like Rusev though. So
He had a match with Big E, and Big E doesn't need to lose.
I was about to say, I don't like the fact that he beat Big E, because Big E's like one of my favourite people. But anyway, Savage would soon replace Elizabeth with none other than sensational Sherry Martel. His big feud as a Macho Man entered the 90s was with the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes.
The American Dream?
The American Dream.
Dream?
Dream!
Is he taking it to the pay window?
Shut up. The self-proclaimed Macho King would team up with Sherry to take on Dusty and his valet, Sapphire, at WrestleMania 6. It was a losing effort, but it did not end there. Savage would get his chance for revenge at that year's SummerSlam when he went one-on-one with the common man Dusty Rhodes. Would Savage get vengeance for his loss at WrestleMania, or would his career continue to go down the long, dusty roads to obscurity?
So this is where it's really gonna con it. Did you download a Sapphire Creator Wrestler?
That's why I'm not doing the WrestleMania match. I try to avoid using as much creator wrestlers as possible, but we will see one later.
Have they got the right Dusty Rhodes music in this game? There was a time when they brought the DVDs and they didn't have the licensing rights to the music, which is weird because it's an in-house created song.
Yeah.
They opted to choose the theme for Wheel of Fortune. Do you see Dusty boogieing his way to the ring and it's the fucking theme for Wheel of Fortune?
Uh,
When you see the Macho Man, you're looking at one of the greatest of all time.
I never used Dusty Rhodes since I downloaded him, so we're about to see.
Because they had a lot of like rights issues, not just with like the wildlife fund, but like Ventura was suing them, and they couldn't use his likeness and things. Like they took out loads of things at the older DVDs, and Dusty's music just happened to be one of them.
I've not tried watching much of the ECW stuff on network, but I can imagine that's a copyright nightmare.
Not so much.
Really?
What other song like covers of the songs?
Ah, okay.
Yep. Because it's cheaper. That's about it. Like, do they no use Motorhead playing Enter Sandman? Because they're tight with Motorhead already.
Triple H's favourite band. Also, yeah, it's Dusty's proper music.
After you're by streaming, I'll hunt you down some Wheel of Fortune. See, when I see that, it just reminds me that they closed off the servers for WWE All Stars.
I certainly have.
On the back of my neck standing up, Michael. This is gonna be great. Wow, that was some reversal by the Dream.
They closed them off like a year and a month ago, and but that game was, like, especially online, way more fun than this.
Yeah.
Things could get crazy.
I did really like All Stars.
He was able to reverse that. Ouch, that's gotta hurt.
But again, best part of All Stars, Michael Hayes.
Dream in trouble at this particular point.
His finisher's DDT1. All his signature moves, like, time slows down, but the moves just like punch. Done.
Caution to the wind and just go full steam.
Did they ever find out if it was actually John Morrison who did the voice of Paul Bearer in that game?
Yeah, what?
Oh, what a clothesline.
Like, for some reason, it wasn't Paul Bearer who did the voice of Paul Bearer, and for some reason everyone thought it was John Morrison.
And a big reversal by the Macho Man.
I don't know. Kane does a alright Paul Bearer.
Yeah. But it
All
was...
boys, they are really good Paul Bearer.
Yeah. But, like, it was when John Morrison and The Miz had their little WWE.com show. Like, they did... John Morrison did, like, a really, really surprisingly good Paul Bearer impression.
Oh, you can feel that from here. The Dream's down. Going all
I
the
think one of them was feuding with Kane at the time.
Ow, that was a serious.
I liked Morrison.
I liked Morrison.
They have no place for him in WWE, but
Not anymore, no.
No doubt that our WWE fans watching live in places
I mean, just look at what happened to Kofi.
Australia, New Zealand, and Austria are enjoying this SummerSlam extravaganza. Oh no!
Like, any sort of high flyer they've got on the roster just gets jobbed out.
Oh, what an elbow! He got
Although at
Well,
least
Seth-
Kofi's on TV, The
Yeah.
Miz is fucked.
Well, The Miz
Know that
was...
The Miz can fly, he can't even put a figure four. Gone, as we've established.
But, like, up until
I've never-
recently, he was filming the Maroon 3, but he's been done since the UK tour. Because him and
You,
Summer Rae were doing it. What?
it's Summer Rae.
Summer Rae's in the Maroon 3 with The Miz, yeah. That's why
Weird.
they disappeared for a few weeks.
How did they just pull the names out of a hat?
Well, The Miz was in the Maroon 2.
I wasn't happy about that either.
submission locked in tight. This could do it.
In fact, wait, was it The Miz? I thought it was, did they know of Ted DiBiase Jr.?
Might have. I might be thinking of a different film, to be fair now. The Miz was definitely in a WWE film.
He was in a Santa film for ABC.
Aye,
Because they reminded us every, like, 15 minutes on Raw. The Wikipedia page for the Marine does not list the sequels. Aye, Ted Jr. was in the Marine 2, and The Miz in 3. Randy Orton was originally scheduled to be the Marine in the Marine, but of course he went AWOL when he was in the Marines and had a dishonourable discharge, so he was replaced by John Cena. Who knows how to salute, so that makes sense at least. But The Miz, I hope he's not applying figure fours on the battlefield. With the wrong leg, come on. But do you remember when The Miz dropped R-Truth on his head?
No.
Truth was diving out the ring, like a backflip. Over the top rope backflip.
Aye.
And The Miz was supposed to catch him, and you could see The Miz actively take a step back. And Truth was out with a concussion for a few weeks.
I did not just lose to Dusty Rhodes.
Did you not?
No.
Sort of looks like the bionic elbows done some damage there.
He counted the fucking elbow twice. Right.
I think I'm going to abandon stream.
I
You've let me down. Well, that and I need more Iron Brew.
Alright.
But, aye, I'll be back in a minute.
Alright, no problem.
Apologise to the viewers.
I apologise to everyone watching for losing to Dusty Rhodes. And causing a time
Don't worry,
paradox.
he's laughing all the way to the pay window.
Each of these competitors is looking for the slightest hint of weakness in the other.
To be fair, I clearly blame The Miz for my lack of ability in this match. All The Miz's fault. It's always The Miz's fault.
All I heard was it's the Miz's fault. It's always the Miz's fault.
I don't think you need any more context to that.
No, not really.
But no, like, I don't have a lot of wrestling merch, but I do have some Miz merch.
I bought a Daniel Bryan t-shirt on eBay. Well, it seems legit.
Yeah. Which
But,
one?
like, it's the no shirt.
Oh yeah, that's okay. That's an alright shirt.
But straight after that, they redesigned the shirt. So it turns out by the time you buy a WWE shirt, it's out of date. If you're a John Cena fan, you're fucked.
Especially with Daniel Bryan, who I think went through about 3 or 4 shirts within like a couple of months. Like between like the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania.
But then you've still got guys on the roster that can't get a t-shirt.
Yeah.
I hope Big E's get a t-shirt.
He does.
Does it say 5?
I can't really remember much about it. I'm pretty sure it's red, and it says Big E on it.
So that's... They killed him when they brought him onto the show. Like, fair enough, his first, like, match was at WrestleMania.
Yep.
And that's a sort of big thing. But after that, like, as soon as the greatest, 3-person team in history split up, the big Final Fantasy team, as soon as they stopped, like, Big E got fucked. Ziggler got fucked as well.
Here is your winner, Macho Man, Randy.
But I honestly think Big E could be one of the biggest things in WWE if they give him a chance.
If they kept his gimmick, he would have been fine.
Yeah.
I really don't get, like, you see people, like, Bo Dallas is making the transition. He's kept the Bo Dallas gimmick.
Yep.
But Big E doesn't get to keep everything that made him so good. And Paige isn't. Like, Paige is wrestling, fair enough. And she's getting time and she's champion. But Paige is nothing like Paige was. She's supposed to be the anti-diva, and she makes her debut by, like, crying and saying she's no way to face the champion and shit.
Speaking of divas, at this point there was new blood holding the WWF Championship, the Ultimate Warrior. Savage tried repeatedly to get Warrior to agree to a championship match, but Warrior refused. This led to Savage attacking Warrior. Thank you for that. This led to Savage attacking Warrior whilst he was defending the title against Sergeant Slaughter, leading to Warrior losing the title. They finally agreed to a match at WrestleMania 7 on one condition: the loser's career would be over. I'm trying to work on my voiceover voice.
It's alright, just pretend to be Lawler.
Nah, his taste in girls are too young even for me. Oh, it's downloaded. Superstars.
No, do you remember how many elbows?
Nope.
No?
Nope. It's... I was about to say it's been a while
Don't
since
remember
I've...
how many...
It's been a while since I've watched this match. It's been a whole 2 months. Is it...
It's
4?
It's 5.
Oh.
You're gonna be fucked when it... what is it, Paige versus Savage? Is it Paige versus... What's the one where they do the elbow drops to restart the heart?
If it's any consolation, I've not got anything for WCW, so... Like, my idea is, if they ever do, like, put out a WCW-centric game, I will do some more streams after that, but... Typing?
I'm taking for information.
Okay.
I'm just looking through my old wrestling columns somewhere.
I've definitely heard about this happening. I've probably seen it, but I've not seen the actual match. I can't remember who it was against or for.
And approaching the ring, weighing 275 pounds, the Ultimate Warrior.
Oh, listen to this place. Everybody's on their feet. I love this atmosphere.
The reviving elbow. Oh. Who was it? Who was it? Oh. No. Wait, that's a different one. The reviving elbow. Like they did one where Clash of the Champions, or the one of the WCW shows, and like Savage gave Hogan an elbow to revive him.
That's where I must have seen it.
Wasn't he moving? The one where they do like 15 fucking elbow drop.
And I've just realised I am rewriting history as I am playing as Savage.
If you haven't done it yet, check out
Remember this time, 5 elbows
favorite superstars.
in a row.
I don't think.
Listen to this crowd. They get
And many tumbles to the outside.
the Macho Man is really worse for wear at this stage.
How about I don't do that and say that I did?
What a kick that was.
No. Go, you already forgot about Sherry, right? And Sapphire.
They're not in the game.
A stiff shot with the elbow. What a body shot.
That was one thing, like for the Steamboat match, they didn't even have George Steele.
That's gotta hurt.
Uh,
That was leg connected. Never ever underestimate the sheer force behind this superstar's punches. Uh-oh.
Warrior is absolutely kicking my ass.
Oh no. What an assault.
it should be.
Yeah.
And a big reversal by the Macho Man.
And we've got to have, you've got to make sure Warrior gets rates on you as possible. I think that was 4, wasn't it?
To good use. I don't know what else Randy Macho Man Savage can withstand at this point. Reversal. Just a dominating display.
Yeah, I think we could see a lot of punishment inflicted here.
If I ever lose this match, I'm not going to do this again because technically I meant to lose it.
This is what WrestleMania is all
Boo.
I can just pretend, hey, this is on purpose.
No, that doesn't cut it.
It helps me sleep at night, that's all I care about.
Did you see that, King? That was almost too easy for the Macho Man to
I often stay up at night worrying about my performance at WWE 2K14.
leaving your body and heart and soul in the ring.
That is perfectly valid.
Oh, hello.
Randy Savage has to find a way to get out of trouble.
Macho Man!
Oh yeah, the Macho Man.
That is actually fantastic.
Is he or is he not ready?
The Macho Man is really worse for wear at this stage of the match.
Like Savage's one line voices like Popeye, where you can only do it for 5 seconds.
This is what
I'm guessing I'm looking at Randy Savage was the Ultimate Warrior.
Yes.
soul in the ring.
That's Ultimate Warrior. You missed that earlier.
Randy Savage has
Sounds like a distinguished gentleman.
He calls it the skronk.
and a big reversal by the Macho.
Fine to do.
Down goes the Warrior. He's
Seems to be picking you up a lot.
much more of this, and I doubt he'll be able to continue. Oh, what a painful kick! Wow, what a kick out by the Warrior. What power! There's going to be a lot of offense in this match. Did you hear how his leg connected?
How are things, Jack?
They're going to fight to the end.
Things
Down goes the
are
Warrior.
good, I suppose.
Saw that one coming.
I should
I
probably.
serve a race to
He's got him up.
work today. That was fun.
Oh fuck.
What'd you have to do?
Dedicated feet to good use.
Server raced.
Oh, come
Oh.
on. That was just uncalled for.
Did you serve them a cease and desist for being raised in the fucking place?
And
If only I'd had that documentation on me.
Serve them a warrant for their arrest.
It was already just being a creepy customer, and then he had to, you know, take that final step. And now this conversation is over.
I should probably introduce us to introduce.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jack
Great
is here. He is
Thank you.
preoccupied.
Thank you, Martin, the translator.
I was going to call him the Spanish announce team.
Oh.
Watch your table, Jack.
What?
Tonight, Jack will of course be joined by Hector Rodriguez and
Carlos
Ricardo
Cabrera.
Guerrero.
Ricardo Guerrero. What?
I did it the wrong way. It's Ricardo Rodriguez and Hector Guerrero.
Hector
Makes
Guerrero.
so much sense to me.
Isn't Hector Guerrero in TNA?
Yes, but I don't know it's Eduardo.
It's some.
the other one.
There's Carlos Cabrera, Ricardo Rodriguez,
Right.
and there's someone else with the last name Rodriguez who's pretty new. None of them.
Do I only know the TNA ones?
Sadly, I did not cause a time paradox.
Let's see what happened during that incredible matchup.
What was the show quite recently where they had a French announce table for some reason?
Apparently, TNA are doing that for their next pay-per-view. They can't afford to pay their talent, but they can afford to get a French announce team.
They only have 6 talent left in the books or something though. Oh, naturally, we don't count like Crimson or Gunner because
They're not
they're
talent.
not talented. But Rockstar Spud's like the best guy
Yeah.
got under contract.
But like, isn't our main event supposed to be Eric Young versus MVP? But MVP got injured in Preston last week, so there's a very good chance it could be Eric Young versus Lashley.
Ugh. Do you remember when Eric Young got kicked in the face and became serious? He became like this, like serial killer type serious guy.
And now he's basically a poor man's Daniel Bryan. It's a shame because I like Eric Young. Eric Young.
Well, they kicked him in the heat again, and he was comedy.
Anyway, Savage was forcibly retired from in-ring competition, but was reunited with Miss Elizabeth, and with the adoration of the fans back in his favour, he would ask Elizabeth for her hand in marriage. The ceremony took place at SummerSlam, but all... But all it takes is one person...
So want to hear Randy Savage read his vows. I take ye.
Ye?
Arketh, or yonder does they come.
But all it takes is one person to ruin the party. With the help of The Undertaker, Jake the Snake
Yes,
Roberts picked out a gift.
Robert. Jake
Roberts.
the Snake Roberts.
I said Roberts. Picked out a gift that the married couple were not very appreciative of. A live snake. He obviously forgot to include the receipt, as Savage found the only way to get payback would be to step into the ring one more time. Jack Tunney initially refused to let Savage compete, but after much convincing from Savage and the WWF fans, he relented. At this Tuesday in Texas, the two would go 1-1 with nothing but Savage's honour at stake. You can now...
Honor. Medal
up.
of Honor.
Shut up.
Oh no.
But suddenly I just want to see Savage read Midsummer's Night's Dream.
You're more than welcome to do that.
Randy
if you want.
Savage reads nerves.
Hey, diddle, diddle, the cat in the fiddle. And now is the winter, for discontent, in glorious summer. York.
That's Richard the Third, I believe. No, maybe.
Sorry, I'm not a Shakespeare kind of guy.
Get leather-bound Shakespeare. That'll help.
Anyway, this is a Tuesday in Texas custom arena downloaded from a guy called CDB19830. I thought it'd be nice.
This Tuesday in Texas was fucking horrible.
I've heard it wasn't very good.
And especially like if you watch the pay-per-view before it, it's is it SummerSlam? Survivor Series?
Yeah, because SummerSlam was when they got married,
Whatever one
so
it is.
yeah, probably Survivor Series.
So it's Survivor Series.
These guys got
Rematch.
married.
Yes.
Well, you see, it's like, and the result, we will see them take on again this Tuesday in Texas. Taker lost the belt back to Hogan, and no fun. I wonder what happened to Sam.
Yeah, he was like at the very beginning. Like I think I interrupted their Terraria moment, and then he went away to eat, and then he just left.
Left this life.
Yeah.
Ooh, Savage has some swag.
Oh, you don't know the half of it.
That's why he was called the Macho Man. That and that he always had like at least women on him at all times. Especially in WCW.
Yeah. And like Gorgeous George and all that. So Jack, were you ever a wrestling fan?
I haven't seen a full WWE event before, I guess. I do have experience with it, I suppose. I kind of, I guess my first like real hands-on with it was demo for Just Bring It on the PS2.
Nice.
See if I can remember the demo. It was Undertaker, Triple H, Kurt Angle, The Rock, Steve Austin, and Kane? Back when he had the big mask on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Other than that, the only real WWE thing I've seen is one time. I think Nick had started to get into wrestling, and he linked me to The Rock Returns when he was announced as the host of WrestleMania 27.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, even not having any prior knowledge of WWE, any real prior knowledge of and the who's who and the what's what, watching that video is pretty chilling, like in a good way.
Yeah.
Spine tingling.
It was actually a really cool moment when The Rock returned.
Yeah.
Because they're nice. Oh, we're gonna have a guest host for WrestleMania 27, and then when they were like, it was the last break before it happened. They like pulled it to a limousine, and it was a woman's foot that came out. So everyone was like really disappointed that, oh no, it's not The Rock. And then The Rock came out, and he's like, those sly devils.
Yep.
If you like The Rock, it was fine.
I did like The Rock. That was...
Martin not like The Rock.
I just like, to me, when he
Not
came out,
care for what he's can.
I don't care for him reciting the same catchphrases as he did in 1998.
Nostalgia, man.
Yeah, like I don't.
But
People.
that's it. There's no real.
Why do you think we're
worth
watching
to it.
Robo Wars?
Because some of the robots were pretty fucking good.
Aye, that's true. I just watched the celebrity special from Series 4. Where, like, Vic Reeves is driving Dietor.
That's
Oh
awesome.
Christ.
Chris Eubank, the boxer, is driving Killertron.
Nice.
Who else? There's a couple of from EastEnders. One of them was driving Pussycat.
I hope it was Cat. Yeah, I've got some
No,
EastEnders
it's
knowledge.
then.
Oh, and 5,
Yes.
they were driving Disco Inferno.
The wrestler or the robot?
The robot. It's Disc. Oh,
Ah.
they were up against Shane from,
Oh Christ.
Well,
and he won, and he was used for Chrome a lot.
I have vague memories of this. Five versus fucking boys on.
Oh, and the sisters like Anthea and what's her name were driving Gemini. Funny. Cannot tell these two gentlemen apart.
Oh, see, one of them, the one wearing the pink,
Is that Randy?
yes.
it is.
And the other one's Jake the Snake Roberts. Don't worry, the next match, there's easier to tell which one's which.
So, are you basically going through his match history here, Stu?
Sort of.
Yeah, like his
The,
big,
like the most memorable.
yeah, big moments.
His greatest hits.
Yeah.
Are you abiding by the real world?
Is he fuck? There's one match
Are you
where Savage
losing
delivers
matches
5
here
elbows. There's one match where Savage
I'm
does
not
5
expecting him
elbows
to,
and
you
he
know,
misses.
follow it.
He did when we did the Ultimate Warrior stream,
Yeah. I'd learned my fucking lesson.
and it's the same match.
But did not have to do something with Hogan as well, like I'd a taunt after every like body slam or something.
Aye. I taunt after everything, basically. Clothesline, taunt, clothesline again.
That's why I fucking lost all the time. Anyway, speaking about problems, Savage's problems did not end there. Now a full-time competitor again, he set his sights. Shut up.
Sandwiches.
He set his sights on the biggest prize in the game, the WWF Championship. He would be going up against the dirtiest player in the game, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. He lived up to his moniker by insisting that before Elizabeth was a savage, she took a ride on Space Mountain, if you know what I mean. It means he insinuated he had sex with Elizabeth. This was obviously a ruse.
He wasn't too tall to ride her.
No. This was obviously a ruse in order to enrage the Macho Man, as they would meet at the Hoosier Dome in Indiana at WrestleMania 8. What?
Oh, nothing.
Okay then.
What's the name of the place?
It's literally called the Hoosier Dome.
Oh.
That's the name of the stadium.
Continue.
Oh, that's got a video package.
Dirtiest player in the game made waves when he debuted in WWE.
To be the man.
I did extensive research. I know what.
But no waves were greater than the ones he made when he chose to target Macho Man Randy Savage.
This is one of the greatest matches ever.
This G.
Yes.
Look at this, everyone.
And I'm not gonna do it justice.
The pre-match interviews, the match itself, and everything after the match, like the interviews after it as well. Like they're still selling the injuries for like 45 minutes after they've had their match.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Her sofa where we spent so many enjoyable hours.
But you can only go so wrong with Randy Savage and Ric Flair.
Terrible assault on the integrity of Miss Elizabeth. Macho Man kept quiet and refused.
Who is the gentleman with blonde toupee?
That's the Nature Boy. That's the limousine riding, wheeling, dealing, kiss stealing son of a gun.
Three together, and when you put him against this man, you come up a loser. Savage.
Woo! Etc.
Woo!
Big show.
There you go.
You and me.
Somebody, somewhere, just get knife edge chopped.
To his breaking point, Ric Flair looked poised to retain the WWE Championship.
I can do a decent chop.
Forever tarnish the names of Miss Elizabeth and the Macho Man.
Oh, I've only got one match after this, so Martin, start thinking about dream matches and such.
Who have you got after this? Oh, don't spoil it, don't spoil it.
No,
I think I know.
probably.
Does anybody in the chat? Is there anybody in the chat? Apparently there was.
Yeah. I love FIFA 2001 Kiss.
Why Thunder or Falcon suggest some matches? That'd be cool.
The goal is on the line.
Whatever you suggest, I will do.
And Macho Man wants it back. If you want to be fair to Flair, you got to be fair and say
I like that they've got Perfect in the suit there as well.
Yeah.
Uzi out of the reigning champion Ric Flair.
And yet you had to download Kurt Hennig to fucking play as him.
Look at Piper.
Oh, good point. That still is strange to me, the fact that you don't have a single Piper match. I can understand why, like, with the Mr. T stuff, fair enough, but like, Bret Hart and at a stretch, Goldust, I would have loved to play those matches.
I come back to find a man wearing a kimono.
No, really a kimono.
I just wait to see Macho Man.
It's no tied up properly.
Dude does not look spry. Throw it out there.
This match is going to make history, JR. All the weeks of humiliation and frustration. All the verbal...
Oh hey, I think we found out where Craig Charles got his outfit for Robo Wars
And
came from.
all come to this. Ric Flair
He stole it from Randy Savage.
no faith
Yeah, he did.
in raging Macho Man as much as he has.
Is this all three men who had public domain entrance themes?
That was perfect stock as well.
I believe. Well, in fact, was it? I'll double check.
So obviously Ric Flair's and Savage's are like public domain classical pieces, but I'm not too sure about perfect.
Let's see here. No, it's by John Johnson.
Ladies and gentlemen, Macho Man
That's
Savage.
sucks.
For the WWE,
Well, I mean, it's a good theme, but
No,
it's no public domain.
Flair is the man.
but that makes sense that they've remixed it recently for Curtis.
That's true, King.
Uh,
Few months
And then again,
it's
they
crap, but the rest Texas Rednecks is public domain.
is it?
Because Warner Brothers just didn't want it.
Macho's punch.
Uh,
A good place to start is Miss Elizabeth.
well, if I ever decide to have a like theme song for this streams,
And drops this one for now. Blocks it.
yeah, my plan is to do one before like every well, not on the day of the pay per view, but like on the week of a pay per view,
The love of his life.
up until WrestleMania, and then we'll see what happens from there.
Savage isn't thinking like a man who wants to win a title. He just wants to tear Flair apart. Well, let's be honest, King.
You have the PS Triple Jack.
The woman you don't
Okay.
understand.
What?
It's Randy Savage.
You have the PlayStation Trip.
Can be a control freak.
Of
Antics of Flair and Mr. Perfect.
Well, no, you have a PS3.
That's a dangerous
I have a 3 or 4
Randy Savage.
for Navita.
Right. Or for the PS3, you should get WWE 2K15 when it comes out.
Go on.
Then you could play with Stu on the
Savage.
streams.
Time incoming.
True.
What a painful mistake.
And we'll teach you about wrestling.
Knocked into the middle of next week.
We'll force you into it.
I already been jumped in.
We will tie you down with the ring ropes, put you in the boiler room, which Dusty Rhodes matches.
Yeah, Jack, if you want to learn about like great wrestling, check out this wrestler called The Miz. And that's all you need to know.
Oh, I've heard of him.
The world knows of the Miz's badness.
Apparently he's awesome?
No, he's awesome. It's a typo. I do believe Perfect's done some shenanigans there.
Mm-hmm.
That walking animation. Oh my god. It's like my first Flash animation.
It's still not as bad as SmackDown vs. Raw 2006.
Yeah.
Like, that was like the most embarrassing animations I've ever seen in my life.
I like how Flair there, he did the thing where he's tripping.
Oh, the Flair flop.
His face.
Yeah.
But then he hurt Randy Savage's boot and sprung straight back up and tripped for real. That's the cool thing about these games, is all the stupid bugs.
Yeah.
Like, before there were catch finishers, you could sort of like take catch finishers if you'd done the right things.
The PlayStation SmackDown games were great because you could have like Trish Stratus versus Big Show, and there was Trish Stratus doing like body slams on him.
Aye, on the 500-pound giant.
Yep.
Did Savage is still on the leg injury?
Yeah.
And in the backstage stuff, Savage is still selling that leg injury. He still can't put weight on it. It was one of the better WrestleManias.
I don't think I've watched all of 8. I've never seen that match. I've probably seen a couple of others.
You don't need to see the Hogan match. The Hogan match is...
Was that Sid?
It was.
Yeah, I can already tell. I don't need to watch that. Anyway, Savage would later lose the title back to Flair later that year due to interference from Razor Ramon. However, his time as the bona fide main eventer in the WWF was over. A short-lived Team Ultimate Warrior would follow, and he would go on to be a colour commentator when Raw launched. Raw was the venue for his last title opportunity in the WWF when, in February 1994, he challenged Yokozuna for the WWF Championship. And to get revenge on Yokozuna for splitting up the Beatles. What a bitch.
I have a suggestion for the dream match.
What?
It's, of course, it's the battle for Steph. Triple H versus Savage.
Alright. Fair enough. Are you wanting a retro Triple H or modern Triple H?
Well, give me Attitude Triple H.
Fair enough.
Or sort of evolutionary Triple H.
Is that an option?
Have they got the one where he's got the ridiculous, he's no beard and he's got a ridiculous mullet thing going on? Because he was trying to look like Lemmy from Motorhead.
Yeah, that was like... That's round about like... Evolution end
And he
of
was
that.
wearing shorts with massive fucking collars.
making his way to the ring. From Sarasota, Florida, weighing 245 pounds, Macho Man, Randy Savage.
What a superstar. So beloved, and these fans are completely behind him.
I do believe we shall be joined by Dale in a short period of time.
He did say at 10:30. And it is 10:10 right now.
However, the following match is scheduled for a 20-minute time limit. And it's scheduled for one fall. That's when Yokozuna falls on top of Savage.
I'm back. I was momentarily distracted by new Bravest Warriors.
Fair enough. I can't fault you.
Both superstars look ready. I'm excited for this one.
Is Yokozuna in the Hall of Fame yet?
Pardon?
Yokozuna in the Hall of Fame?
Yokozuna's in.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
I think, I want to say Rikishi inducted him.
Yeah, it was definitely like really like recently. It would make sense if Rikishi inducted him since, you know, most Samoan wrestlers are related.
I also had a column about that. It's like a massive family tree. Roman Reigns, Rikishi, Jimmy and Jey Uso, Samu, Rosie, Manu, and Umanga, as Regal called it.
Umanga.
Yokozuna's cousins. Sika were his uncles. He was inducted by the Usos and Rikishi in 2012.
Alright.
He's apparently not accompanied to the ring by Mr. Fuji.
Oh, I forgot. I always forget that you can set managers.
Or is it Jim Cornette at this? I think it might have been Cornette.
Yeah, but I really doubt Cornette's in.
It would. There'll be a creator wrestler, but
Yeah.
I really doubt that they would have the tennis racket accessories.
And what's even the point?
Of Cornette.
Of like, yeah.
You see that face at the side of the ring through the whole match.
Macho Man Savage steps in the ring. You can just feel the intensity. Cut the tension with a knife. Oh, there it is. Great reaction.
Just set it to like Justin Gabriel versus Heath Slater, and watch Cornette's face.
Yokozuna wants to prove he is the best in WWE. Which in Japanese means number one.
I would just have him be like ringside for every match.
I think that's where Ring of Honor went wrong. They had him on the books, but they didn't have him sitting in the middle of the ring watching.
Well, in a way, that's Cornette's own fault.
Or they could have put up a big screen and just showed his reaction for the locker room.
Well, I'm pretty sure he was in like quote-unquote gorilla.
Aye.
You remember that thing with Colt Cabana and Daniel Bryan? I forget what it's called. But they showed like backstage, it was like Adam Pearce and Jim Cornette.
Aye. He was in power, and then he was no in power. Much as the story with him. I mean, I like a lot of Cornette's ideas for the business, but when he's in power, they never seem to happen.
No. He's a bit old-fashioned as well. Which, yeah. Predictable, I guess.
But with that old-fashionedness comes like having reason for having matches in your pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Like they had a Falls Count Anywhere match, Evolution versus Shield. Did they know? Match or something.
Yeah.
And then they just did an elimination tag this past pay-per-view, and it's like, well, that's working backwards. Look, if you have no disqualification and the victories no there, then you go to like a cage. You keep building, you don't regress.
Mm.
That's how they were able to have the same match for like 6 months, Batty, is because they would keep building it and building it. And of course, they had 80s gimmicks like the bull rope. And the scaffold match. Work on it.
Oh, yeah.
His feet.
I do like Cornette.
Did you see that, King? That was almost too easy for the Macho Man to kick out of. Nice takedown there. That was sure a hard landing. Going top rope once more. Heads up!
You could also have Savage versus Luger.
I don't have a Luger.
He knows his opponent is completely helpless to resist the submission hold.
So you don't have Savage, Luger, Sting?
Nope.
That's that one out the window. How could you know of the NWO match? That's a big one.
My idea is that after
No enough cages.
Yeah. But like I say, like after I've kind of got like a vague plan of like most of these streams up until WrestleMania, and then at that point I'll either end it or move on to like WCW. I'm still kind of hoping they do like a WCW centered game.
It would be nice for them to at least include the arenas, even if they don't.
Because they've got all the titles.
Exactly. And I know they've got Create Arena, but it's no the same as having like specific ones modelled.
Yeah.
Because a lot of WCW pay-per-views had elaborate sets. And you can't have Kevin Nash jump into a swimming pool that's no existing in the game.
Ah, I do love Kevin Nash. Like even with all his like, yeah, he was a bit, you know, bad for business, but hey, I still like him.
His politics were terrible, but he's a great guy. He's ridiculously funny as well.
Yeah. It's like some of my favorite. I've never been a fan of TNA, but some of my favorite TNA moments has been because of Kevin Nash or Chet Lemon.
Is that when they're training Nash?
Yes. That and the invitation. Well, it's like we had like a wee like tournament with all the X Division guys.
Oh, aye.
And I can't remember what one it was, like a push-up competition or something. Like one of them had like these, can't remember what they were, but then one of the other ones were like, "Hey, you can't use that. That's illegal." And it's like, "Nope, these are Bob Backlund approved." They actually did get Bob Backlund to come into that story as well.
Nash does a lot of shoot interviews.
Oh.
And depending on like how recent his Legends contract's been, he says more or less. But there was a great one where he's like, I think it's kayfabe commentaries ask him, so that's what's the deal with Triple H and Stephanie? Is that for power or whatever? And Nash is like, well, I mean, like they've got the kids and the kids are great, and I think I think Triple H knew what he was doing when he got married to Steph. The two seem very happy. Like he says it on the one. And then you get like Kevin Nash's dating tips.
This was a match that was simply mesmerizing.
Big Kev. We love you.
Super Shredder. Oh, I know I keep bringing up wrestling facts, but there's a wrestling fact about Nash.
What?
Hold on. I'll see if I can find it.
Here is your winner, Macho Man, Randy Savage.
An emotional victory here tonight. Man, oh man, what a battle! And ladies and gentlemen, we will see you next week right here on Raw.